Hello Mayhem Makers, I'm Mindy with Quilting Mayhem. Welcome to week 5 of Beyond Square Sew Along. Today we're going to work on the Delectable Mountain block. So it's going to be better to kind of show you from top down, so we're just going to move straight to that part. And it's a fairly simple block. It looks complicated. We're going to show you how easy it really is to put together. So give us a moment, we'll be right back. Alright, so the instructions have you cutting rectangles and you're going to cut them on the diagonal. Make sure that half of them are going from top to bottom, right to left, and the other half going top to bottom from left to right. So you're going to have this opposite diagonal for your mountains. You're just going to lay them right sides together, line up your edges, and take it straight to the machine. Do your 1/4 inch seam. And then I will be right back and show you the next step. All right, so we have our 2 rectangles going opposing directions. Now the directions say to trim it to 6.5 by 8. So let's just start with one of these. I have my Creative Grid 6.5 by 12.5. This is going to make it somewhat easy because it's already 6.5 wide. So what I'm going to do is I'm starting with this bottom corner on the diagonal, so this is kind of my 0 point, and then here I have my 8-inch marking. I'm going to set it on the opposite end of the diagonal, so this way my diagonal of my rectangle is going straight through the middle, and because this is 6.5 wide, I'm just actually going to go straight across. Get that little dog ear out of the way, and I'm going to go straight across this way. So I have a nice clean 2 edges of this rectangle. I can then flip it, and then I should be able to lay it with an 8-inch mark on this left-hand side and just the straight bottom edge of my ruler. And because it's 6.5, what's really nice is now I'm just going to trim that side and the top. So now my rectangle is 6.5 by 8 with that diagonal going through the middle. It then says to cut them in 2-inch strips. So we're just going to go 2 and then 2. Now I could just keep trying to move the ruler and move it to 4 and then 6. But I like this method, that way I'm not trying to look and see where I cut. 2, and then this guy will be 2. So then we're going to flip it around and sew the pieces back together as a mountain. I'm going to show you, again, cutting that 6.5 by 8 for this opposite angle, just in case there's any confusion, give you that extra confidence to make sure you can do this. So even though the diagonal is going the opposite direction, same concept. One corner of my 6.5 is going to be on one end of the diagonal, and one corner of where the 8-inch mark, so it says 8, I'm just meeting the line at the opposite end, is on the other end of the diagonal. Trim 2 sides. Flip it so you have your nice clean sides on your bottom and left. Line them up, so I've got lining up on the 8-inch is the edge of my blue, lining up on the bottom is my background piece, and then just cleaning up the other sides. And you have your cleaned up rectangle that you then just cut in 2-inch strips. And I'm just lining up those edges. There. And flip. Now, I'll take these to my machine, put them back together, and I'll be right back and show you what they look like. So here you see we have now our Delectable Mountain blocks in the 2 opposite directions. Some of them you will be piecing together as one full mountain. You may see in some parts where you're going to do them kind of opposing. So just get all your blocks done and ready, because that's what's going to be in your outer border. So we're jumping around in sequence, but that's okay, because in the end it'll all come together nice and easy. So this is your homework for the week. Next week we'll be doing the quarter square triangles and shoe fly blocks. So get ready, and we'll see you next week. Happy stitching.